scary as well. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
it
Magnus.
does. Intercepts kinds of ganks and stuff. If Axe jumps in and calls and you throw a smoke cloud on top of that, you can't do the chop. Or sometimes you can't follow up with other nukes. It kind of depends on what cores they have. It doesn't really look like the best counter against Rubik Axe, but it definitely can open up a lot of like core issues for your team.
TA ban.
That's obviously a Lifestealer bomb as well. It's the other big one, actually.
And the vision game overall.
So
And
where-
leading
where-
your
where-
resource of support.
Yeah. So where do Liquid want to go, Kevin, with this draft? Well, all right, then we'll
There's-
get half the answer.
All right,
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd see some new picks. This
Yep.
year's been buffed like so many patches in a row. His Fire Spirit's at level 15. It ends up doing like, it's actually a stupid amount. It's like 2,000 magic damage with 4 Fire Spirits by the time you're 15. It's insane how
crazy.
much it does.
Th-
Obviously, attack speed reduction.
I feel like I've gotten a time machine, and we're back at Epicenter 12
Yeah.
months ago, when Phoenix was all the rage, and then just got nerfed into oblivion.
Yeah, he still has some big weaknesses. He's weak in the lane. All of his spells have really long cooldowns, but if you can get through the early mid game and get to like that level 15 area, your damage output is disgustingly huge. So Sunray's still good. Supernova's still good. There's a lot of great things about the hero still, but compared to other supports,
It's not
usually
quite
worse.
Sunray good hero level
No.
though, that
Yeah.
it was a year ago when it was pretty absurd.
Yeah, I mean, that was partially like Void as well. There was like
Yeah.
so many good combos that you could put with Phoenix, but I think the Phoenix pick here could be really good. It's kind of iffy against Lifestealer, but it can also be good.
Seen a lot more Lena in the recent patches, obviously, as well.
Mostly in the Chinese scene even.
Yeah.
Wings picked it earlier today as well. I have yet to be convinced about Lena.
Really, why?
I just feel like it's great, lockdown, long range, and then she's just done. I don't know.
Doesn't do anything else.
I just feel like she falls off.
She can farm really fast is one of her benefits, but yeah, she can definitely have some issues. If Axe initiates on her, she's probably going to get killed. Her armor's weak, so she has to buy like HP item and magic resistance and maybe a setup if she can get it. So it's like you have all these different options that you can head towards, but I mean, if she's in the backline, she's good.
Yeah, do you find that a little bit strange that they picked that into the Axe?
No, I don't think so necessarily, because as long as she's not the one that gets initiated on, it's fine. And it's a great RP follow-up in that it's an
Yes.
AoE stun plus Dragon Slave. It could be a support, could be a mid. Don't know if I'd want to do it support on Lena, but if that's like core Lena, you also have to keep in mind her Fiery Soul passive. She's going to have a lot of range just naturally. She's going to have a ton of attack speed. It's a great Phoenix counter, either resisting the attack speed reduction from the Fire Spirits or just killing the egg. So I think it's an okay pick here. I kind of like it.
All right, so we got a Medusa by Team Liquid. I mean, in terms of
That's cool.
synergy, this is something that Kuroki used to do in Secret. They had a support axe, and he basically called people so they would be stoned by Medusa and got them in the right angle.
Because you can make them look towards
You can make
yeah.
them look towards Medusa. So they, in that game specifically, they ran axe as a support. I doubt that they're going to do that this game, but it is some interesting synergy
be
that
fun.
Yeah.
that you can get. Yeah.
It's basically the solution against Magnus RP, in that if you get RP'd, normally you're just screwed. But if Medusa's there, at least they have to worry about getting disabled. And obviously, if Lifestealer uses Rage, he can still be disabled by Medusa. It's actually a really good picker, and you can cover the Phoenix egg with it, just Medusa ulti. It's all about where they're looking, and
Yep.
Axe and Rubik can kind of deal with that. So a lot of AoE disables, really good team fight from Liquid will hopefully shut down what Magnus is bringing.
Positioning is going to be absolute key for both teams
Yeah.
then in the fights. That's going to be massive. Lifestealer is considered a little bit of the Nova killer by the for the Phoenix. So if IG is on the ball with that, that's one thing that they won't have to worry about.
But they still have Dusa ulti to deal with it, and they've
Yes.
got Berserker's Call from Axe, so
Yeah.
it's like they actually do have really good solutions. I think
They
this might have been a
definitely
planned strat with the Lifestealer. Let Lifestealer Magnus through, they're obviously going to take it, and then they're thinking, okay, we're going to grab Axe Rubik, it's going to look normal, and all of a sudden we'll pull out the Phoenix Medusa and have these perfect solutions. So I think this is just a draft plan here for Liquid against
and
IG.
it did seem like third pick IG were reacting, didn't it?
Yeah.
With the Lina.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the combo thing with Magnus Lifestealer, because they didn't know what to do. They're like, Axe Rubik, what is that? It doesn't necessarily do anything specifically. They just kind of pick something, and now they're sitting with Alina thinking, is this really the pick we want here? And against Dusa, it's definitely not. Magic nukes aren't that great against the hero. They would really love to have like a Jug or something like that. Would be much better.
Yeah. And
So
the Tinker?
Pretty good. Obviously, blind against Medusa is great because she can't attack, but it's mostly delay the game, I suppose. It's another combo with Magnus as well. They're just going to deal a ton of nuke damage, pretty much. So I think the Tinker's okay. They don't know what's going to lane against yet. It's maybe the one iffy part about their draft here. But if Liquid can grab a good I guess it's Phoenix Rubik supports, so they're looking for their carry. Something to lane against, I guess, do some mid versus Tinker, so they just need a hard carry now. Something that can be good against Lifestealer. Jug's been banned. Yeah, I was going to say Jug.
Yeah.
It seems like IG, maybe with the Earth Spirit a little bit less so, but they have all prepared to dig into their base and just, wait for that Magnus magical RP so that they can follow up and kill everybody and then push down mid. Although their pushing power is kind of lacking.
On IGs?
On IG side.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But at the very least, they can delay the game a long time.
Yeah.
And Liquid needed something to just like overpower them into a win, because if IG could tank that much and just delay the game with like Tinker and who's the other, the Lifestealer getting too much farm, it would just get out of hand against the solo Dusa. So I think it was a good pick.
The Elk on the last pick.
I like Liquid.
You like Liquid?
Yeah, I think that they have this plan. I mean,
Yeah,
opening
it
already
looked like
with
a
the
plan,
Rubik and
didn't
Egg
it?
is like, this is what we're
Yeah.
going to do. We know that none of this is going to get countered or picked or banned or banned by the other team because, this is their plan and it's unconventional, but definitely could work.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Liquid draft better. I think you can definitely work here.
All right, okay. We'll hear more from Shiva and from Kevin, of course, after this first game, when we'll catch up on exactly what Liquid have done. Have they got a great plan? Let's find out as we'd have a commentary team of OD Pixel and Gods.
Thank you very much, Red Eye. Indeed, we're getting ourselves ready for this series. It's going to be incredibly exciting. IG going up against Liquid. We've heard what the panels had to say about Liquid Shot, but I got to be honest, Gods. Looking at some of the heroes that IG have, it's pretty terrifying. A lot of Chinese teams will first ban out that Tinker against IG because OP is a bit of a mastermind on it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the key thing to look at with IG's draft. They've got their signature heroes. OP on Tinker, they've got Baboka on Earth Spirit. He actually renamed himself as Borax. Yeah, to like kind of basically
Jarex,
be like, kind of like worships Jarex as what he's done and brought to like OG and previously Liquid. And he's been like nicknamed that by the Chinese fans because he plays like the best Earth Spirit in China. So he's got his Earth Spirit as a fifth pick. OP's got his Tinker. Tinker very good against Medusa. But like the planner was saying, it feels like Liquid gave them these heroes knowing that they're going to pick them. Like, all right, they're going to get Magnus and Lifestealer. Burning's most played carry is the Lifestealer. He's grabbing that every game he can, even if it's not with a slider. So very clearly Liquid think they can beat these heroes.
Absolutely, and I think just going back to the fact that because IG are on such kind of strong hero player combinations, if Liquid beat them here, I feel IG's going to be pretty scared going into game 2 because they have, as you said, they've been allowed to get what it feels like they wanted to get into this game 1 with. And Liquid coming into this one with answers. The finishing pick as well, the Alchemist. I mean, we know Miracle. He's a bit of a madman on whatever he gets his hands on. But Alchemist, if he gets out of control at the start, it's going to be very hard for IG to control it, isn't it? Especially when they're running Lina. So do you think, was the plan always to kind of have this Lina in the support position? Or do you think with IG they ever thought about putting him in the mid lane? Did anything from the lineup of Liquid cause them to move it away from mid?
I imagine the Medusa going mid is just going to be the better matchup, but you can't really run the He's not going to farm as well against the Tinker as he is in the safe lane. More likely than just running him safe lane, they're looking to use the Phoenix to stack up a ton of camps here as much as possible, so we'll see Phoenix probably just going out whenever possible, setting up. Same for the Rubik, just while you're roaming, whenever you're at a stack timing, make sure you create those stacks for Alchemist, because he's maybe going to be splitting the XP a bit more, and he wants to be able to fall back into that jungle once he hits level 6, level 7, has some points in acid with the Grieval's Greed, gets an armlet up. That's when he can really start to power farm.
Yeah, and Phoenix, of course. Recent buff, 7.04. It's getting better and better for the bird after quite a long period of time where we're kind of back, last year's Epicenter, where we were seeing kind of the pinnacle of a Phoenix, and then it got knocked down really hard. But the last update, extra GPM on one of the talents and such, isn't it? And we mentioned the DPS with the spirits. It can be pretty scary.
Plus 65 fire. It's double damage on fire spirits when you get that level 15. The GPM is also really nice. You may consider it against like the magic immune life stealer, since he can just rage off the fire spirits. Either one.
Oh yeah, it's one of the two, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they're both amazing. Is the thing.
Yeah.
It's like you get to this level 15, you're like, holy crap! I've got two of like the best level 15 talents. Which do you get? But to start things off, we'll see what the plan's going to be as far as Liquid dealing with OP's Tinker. It seems like they want to give some assistance to Matu. GH is at least helping that early game last hits. And I think the big thing to point out is that Magnus not contesting the offlane. So Alchemist will have an uncontested free farm lane. Magnus looking to jungle farm it up.
Yeah, mid lane we saw Baboka just try for a bit of an attempt on some Matuma Man, but it was a little off the mark there with the rolling boulder. And yeah, not really a surprise to see really GH coming towards that mid lane, because as we said, you've got to keep your eyes out on OP's Tinker. We were checking before, and I think he had over 70% win rate with IG. This is almost certainly got to be one of the heaviest focuses for Liquid in the earlier stages of the game, because if this Tinker gets ahead and is able to kind of stall the game, it could get pretty nasty. But as we keep saying, if the game goes on, the Alchemist and the Medusa are going to look at you and say, all right, we'll just keep farming these lanes, you keep pushing in, and they'll just continue to get bigger and bigger as it scales on.
Yeah, I think buckle down. This looks like a bit of a fight greed with greed kind of approach
Certainly.
from IG. Burning's queued up his first item minus. He almost always has been going for the minus on his safe lane life stealer, but not even opting for boots because, hey, there's no one in his lane. Neither team is going off lane. Both off laners are jungling. Mind Control didn't go Iron Talon from the start. He went for the poor man shield, but we'll see roams coming out from GH and Baboka, but neither of these players pose major kill threats. They're more looking just to create some space and get scouting information. This is like, they're just kind of matching up against each other, trying to hopefully like get in, find the junglers, contest them. If you find a low HP jungler, you might find a kill, but realistically, all three cores plus like junglers are just playing super greedy. They're looking to create stacks right now. No team is really making big moves to actually threaten for kills. Like Rubik's just gone top lane to leech some XP at this point with boots, so we're not going to be seeing too much action early on.
Yeah, and in terms of when the action does actually kick off, I mean, IG with their lineup, I mean, trying to make something happen with the RP, it feels like it's going to be hard this game because there's just so many ways that Liquid can counteract an initiation. As we said, we're going to have Axe with the Blink Cool. You've got a Supernova, a Stone Gaze to warrior out. There's so many ways that Liquid can stop IG trying to fight. And it feels like in a game where you've got the better farmers essentially on Liquid, that's going to be an issue for IG.
Yeah, it can be. They're going to have to, when they initiate, burst down that target really quickly before a Stone Gaze can come in, before like a Sunray Supernova type saves can come in. That's where the Infest Bomb's really nice because typically, I mean, you think you're Slider Lifestealer. This, you don't have the Slider with the amp damage, but you've got a Magnus RP, you've maybe got an Earth Spirit with a Stun Silence. You roll in with an Infest Bomb. That first target will die very quickly. There's not many heroes that can easily survive it. Outside of perhaps Medusa with like maybe you Manta off a silence and then you get a Stone Gaze off. But I think IG have the right idea where they can just play the farming game. If Lifestealer manages to scale pretty well, they are going to have to eventually address Alchemist and how fast he's farming, but they're still going to hit their Magnus Blink, their Lifestealer Midas Armlet timing before Alchemist has like a Radiance Manta style Boots of Travel, for example.
Yeah, for sure. And regarding the farm at the moment, of course, as we can see on the last hits, both safe laners pretty much free farm entirely on the same level as it comes to last hits. Mid lane, a bit of an edge for the Tinker. OP having the better time, around double that of Matu at the moment, even though there was that help given out at the start. Matuma Man still certainly struggling in this matchup that for the most part has been 1v1 and understandable, of course, with that laser, making it hard for Matu to get all the CS, even with the snake spam.
Interesting that Mind Control's not having the Iron Talon. Looks like he's going to go for the Tranquil Boot. So we may see him actually go to lane soon. The fact he hasn't got the Iron Talon suggests he wants to get some early jungle levels and farm, but then ultimately transition into having some laning presence, perhaps looking for that early smoke rotation with someone like a Rubik. But for now, it will just be jungling it up, getting as much as he can. Greed is the name of the game. Miracle in the safe lane, working on his armlet, has the Soul Ring. Doesn't look like there's too many stacks because the jungle's being so actively used by the Axe, which is one of maybe the downsides for Liquid, is they don't have that super high power farming Alchemist who can fall back to the jungle with his ancient, well, not just ancient stacks, but neutral stacks as well. So
I mean, is there a chance, is it for sure going to be a power farming Alchemist? Or is there a chance we could see a sort of Solar Crest, Shadowblade sneak in, and then because you've got this Medusa playing more of the farm game? Or do you think that's unlikely?
That was the way he used to play it a lot with OG when we saw like Alchemist strats all the time out of Miracle and even No-Tail. They'd go for that kind of Solar Crest, Sanjin Yasha build even. I find it unlikely. I haven't seen an Alchemist played like that in a long, long time. And I feel the hero doesn't excel when played like that. It seems like his natural fit is to play the greedier style, but I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely viable, and it's the better build to have against a Lifesteal. Having a Solar Crest is an item that Lifesteal struggles to deal with because he doesn't want to go MKB typically.
Bottom lane trying to make a bit of a go there. XXS just attempting to get the slow off, but even with that little slow, it's not going to be a chance for the supports to close right, and they will still hang around though.
They've got both supports down here though.
Yeah, they really want to try and make something happen. Miracle, of course, yet to hit level 6. He's very close, but he isn't going to have that Chemical Rage regen to help him out if IG find an opening. As Q and Baboka staying in the tree lines. Miracle very aware that something's going on.
Yeah, he saw the Radiant Creeps were the ones doing that little side pull, so he did see them there, but he doesn't know the Earth Spirit's here.
Yeah, he needs backup, and even if that came through, it's not going to be quick enough as Miracle surrounded, and IG will find themselves first blood there.
At mid lane though.
See if they can get something in return here, closing the gap onto OP, moving in with the caller. TP will come through. The spins, they're not going to be there. Can they actually keep OP alive? That's the question now. It's just Q. There's no sort of defensive play that you can offer to survive, help the Tinker survive. So Liquid get themselves the kill in return. Natu to pick it up. And Q forced back. So very good for Liquid there. We talked about already how Matamaman was slightly struggling in the farm department head-to-head against the Tinker, but that's going to open the lane up a bit. But of course, IG do get that first blood on Miracle.
Yeah, it's a good chunk of gold going their way for the first blood, but Miracle, you can see kind of on the net worth, hasn't been hampered too much in terms of where he's at. You'd expect him to be top of the chart. He's an Alchemist in a safe lane free farm situation, but ultimately kills on the Tinker, slowing down that Boots of Travel timing, to me, currently is maybe the bigger objective to take right now. So I think Liquid come out slightly better for that trade, or at least somewhat even. And we'll see what the next moves are going to be. Burning with Midas Boots. He's going to probably be letting his team know, like, okay, perhaps I could go for an Infest gank soon. I can push out my lane and then TP somewhere if there's like a guaranteed kill. But alternatively, he's got the free farm lane. So he doesn't want to rotate too early, but he also does. He can't just sit here farming all day long. He is going to get out farmed by an Alchemist. So it's kind of that, where's that critical point where you make that rotation? For now, his team don't need him.
Bottom lane, they're going to look for Miracle. He does have the armlet. Chemical Rage is still on cooldown though. So IG, they've managed to take him down a second time on the safe lane of Liquid. Very nicely done as well. A few seconds, and if he had that rage, maybe he would have had a bit of a better chance with some Miracle level armlet toggling, but it's not going to happen. Yeah. But as we're seeing, IG putting a lot of focus down there, and absolutely worth it as well. Getting that Magnus involved is going to help him on his item progression. If they can get that blink and such, a good timing, and especially before some of these key members of Liquid get their 6. Like obviously at the moment, Kuroki still at level 3. If you're able to make things happen before such things as the Supernova's a threat, that's going to be fantastic for this Lifestealer Magnus lineup.
Yeah, IG seem to have recognized that Liquid are just leaving this Alchemist alone down bottom for a lot of the game, and Kuro, very under-leveled support. His spells have long cooldowns. They also require, this hero requires a lot of levels for those spells to really start becoming powerful threats in the early game, and Kuro has a dive, but doesn't really have a good way out of this gank if he gets hit by a boulder smash.
We get TP across coming from the Timberman, but immediately held back, by Baboka. Kuroki, he's trying to hide it out, but they have found him, and with this dive already used, he'll go down. IG, certainly having the time of their lives down on that bottom lane, and top lane as well, really, as you're mentioning. Burning continues to have safe lane. We're seeing Miracle receiving pressure, Burning a lot less so. Mind Control is up here with GH, but between the two of them, incredibly hard to catch a lockdown Burning. He's going to be A-OK against just the two of these heroes.
Yeah, he's aware the Medusa TP'd bottom, so there's no real threat to his life. When your opposing team's two main cores that are doing well and farming are both carriers, like Alchemist, Medusa, neither of which ganks you, it's a very free game as a lifestealer. You can push very, like he was farming behind the tower, he was playing super aggressive.
In the jungle here, nice setup as they come in with the kickback, looking to bring down Matumba. He's out of mana. Does have the backup though from Kuroki, and Baboka and Q won't quite have enough damage to bring him down.
Kind of approaching that point where supports by themselves can't kill the core heroes. Both Alchemist and Medusa are very tanky, so they want to get those kills. They need the Lifestealer Infest, they need a Tinker rotation, and Tinker, until he has the Boots of Travel, is unlikely to be able to make that kind of a move.
Top lane, again, Mind Control, and GH just trying to shove the lane in. But Burning, he is not bothered by that one bit at all. He's working towards his armlet.
I mean, this start is going incredibly well for IG. They've managed to find a few key kills on Alchemist to slow down his timing. He's not out farming all the carries like Alchemist normally does with free farms, so I think all in all this is a dream start. And they're going to hit this Lifestealer Armlet timing at a similar time to Magnus's Blink.
And yeah, talking about Blinks, Mind Control's just picked us up at the side shop. So they've got to make something happen here. If they can bring down Burning... Oh, he messes up! Oh! He forgot to press Blink.
I don't think he has that. I mean, Baboka's in the perfect spot to counter-initiate, so I'm not sure that's a kill regardless.
I mean, maybe, but hey...
It doesn't look pretty, but I think that was for the best.
Okay.
He may not know it. It may take watching the replay for him to realize that's good that he messed up, but it worked out.
He was just testing his Q button. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, oh no, he cancelled it that time. Mind Control, is he going to be...
Baboka's
oh, yeah,
ready
pause.
for it.
It looks like there's an issue with the Blink. I think his Blink key is broken. Hey, look, that's what it looks like to me, gods. Yeah. He can't seem to blink.
Is the problem, so without that, yeah, there's no real way to get that kill. Baboka, perfect map awareness in the right spot. He's well known for this Earth Spirit with good reason. He's kind of under level 2, level 4 only, but he's definitely achieved a lot. He's the one who's been constantly moving around the map, made those ganks at bottom lane. He's been just getting his team a lot of good scouting information. And we'll scout a couple more heroes. Gets, oh, nice blink, blocks the roll.
Control, getting the setup. Baboka, he has got backup on the way, so Mind Control and Kuroki have to be a little bit careful. Silence, and then the RP. Oh my goodness, XXS. Not a lot of love for the Phoenix there as he brings him down. And yeah, in return, GH RPing the RP at XXS with the skewer back, but Mind Control's got the call, as they will be able to take down the Magnus and find their favorable trade there. As indeed, GH, at the end of the day, with the better RP.
Magnus was looking for the 2-man, but couldn't quite get the second hero, only caught Phoenix, so... Not the end of the world for IG, who still managed to push down that bottom tier 1 tower. They're really starting to press forward now. Lifestealer's getting involved, so we see Burning come online.
We've got a replay here of the broken Blink. As we see there, Mind Control. There we have it. There we have it. Poor old Mind Control. Yeah. But as we were saying, it probably wouldn't have made a difference.
No, it was a bait to begin with. We'll see what the next moves are going to be. I think IG at this point are going to be the aggressors. They're versing a very greedy Liquid draft with Alchemist, Medusa together. They've got the boots of travel, they've got the Infest bombs, and they can start finding these pickoffs. Burning is well and truly ready to start fighting. He doesn't want to farm anymore now that he's got his Midas armlet up.
Yeah, for sure. And if he can continue to find fights like this, it's, yeah, it's going to be impressive to see him keep this close to Miracle's Alchemist, who did obviously die a couple of times in lane, but other than that, did get free farm. Yeah. So
I think it's really hard to play this Axe now for Mind Control, because typically you get this Blink Dagger as your first item. You want to go around, start using some smokes, find some pickoffs, but you've got 2 cores that can't really do a whole lot with you. Medusa and Alchemist both want to farm. Even your supports, Phoenix aren't really supports that pair up great with an Axe for ganking in terms of damage output. GH potentially with like a good stolen spell for some extra damage, like a Shockwave or a Tinker Laser could, but you think Axe Blink Call and you want to have like a follow-up, like an Invoker Sunstrike, some nice nukes coming out. There's very little coming out from Liquid's team to partner with this Axe Blink.
Trying to get Miracle involved in the fights here. Throw the stun out onto the Lina, turns towards Burning. Burning! Rips down GH, and the Supernova Stone Gaze combo coming in from the back lines. But Tumberman, he's caught XXS, who will skewer away back in time. And Q, with the stun, holds back a second. So at the end of the day, that was a fight that GH looked to kick off there with the telekinesis opening, and Miracle wanted to join in. But Burning, he just walked in, and he walked out, and got the kills.
It was a good, you can see where the Synergy and Liquid's draft is there with that Supernova Stone Gaze at mid. They came very close to getting a couple key kills on the Magnus especially, but they were just a little bit short. They lacked that extra bit of damage output. Their supports have some great teamfight presence when you look at spells like Supernova, the Fire Spirits, the Sunray, but they don't have that good way to finish off these kills. And That's something which Liquid are kind of struggling for right now. They don't really fight all that well. Even with these big ultimates, like they have teamfight presence, they lack that teamfight damage until they get more farm, until they have Miracle with Radiance, Manta Start, Octarine. He needs to get big on this Alchemist before Liquid are kind of ready to go.
Look at this XXS as well, queuing up a Midas for himself after the blink.
Yeah, they can play the greed game. It's not like Liquid's draft is greedy, but it's not like you automatically lose if it goes late. I don't look at IG's draft like it's going to necessarily fall off. As much as Lifestealer not really a hero you want to always go too late in the game with, he's got Empower this game, he's got good vehicles, he won't get kited as badly because the Tinker's going to ultimately probably have like a Blink Hex, so he can help control the Alchemist, the Medusa. He's got like the Magnus, who's going to have ultimately, if it goes super late, refreshes. So I don't think IG have to be too worried about ending this game fast, despite there being an Alchemist Medusa. If anything, they can look at this game like we've actually slowed down the Alchemist farm enough that we can play at our own pace, a pace that suits IG.
Liquid, of course, they'd love to catch out OP. They've got eyes on him, so he's very close to the Blink Dagger. Mind Control with the initiation. TP's coming through, though. The spins weren't there. Mind Control. He nearly ends up going down to the tower here. They'll chase forward, trying to find him. XXS goes forward with the Skewer and the Shockwave. Finds the kill. Matuma Man, he already used the Stone Gaze. He's now on the run out, but Baboka on the chase, and with Burning coming in from the sidelines. Matuma Man now caught without the ultimate. He'll go down as well. And IG reacting to Liquid's attempt to make something happen on that top lane absolutely perfectly. I mean, Mind Control jumps in under the tower, but there just wasn't any follow-up.
Yeah. It's one of those games where it feels like as much as you don't want to go greedy on your offlaner as well as your two cores, it's like this blink timing comes and then you don't have great ways to use it. Like it's one of those things where often as like an axe in these kind of games, you want to go for like maybe a Vanguard first or something just to tank up, because if you get the blink too fast and your team aren't ready to gank with the blink dagger, it doesn't offer a whole lot. And that's what it feels like has happened for Liquid, where they've got this blink, they're trying to make these smoke moves, but outside of perhaps committing, like bringing the Deuce and Phoenix, which I guess is the idea, so you have those big ultimates, it's very hard to actually take fights and find pickoffs. Axe is kind of like the pickoff catch hero, but you don't have any good gankers to go with him. You have team fighters, so I think Liquid are kind of trying to team fight without the actual farm to back it up. Like a Medusa with a Perseverance, Phase Boots, and some small items like Aquila Wand is not going to offer a whole lot.
And IG certainly with a peak of fighting power at this stage in comparison to what Liquid have. OP, that blink now, of course, complete thanks to surviving that top gank attempt. I'm talking about gank attempts, Matuma Man is being eyed up by IG. Straight in they go, the four of them, with a Laguna Blade from Q. They bring down the Medusa. Pretty much the second time there in 2 minutes of gameplay. 11 for free. IG certainly seeming to have a good, strong control on this game.
Yeah, they're finding these nice rotations. They've found like just the right amount. I talked about them fighting greed with greed, going for the Midases, having this very passive early game. They recognize that, okay, the first 10 minutes we got everything we needed to with our kind of farming style. Now it's time to kind of up the ante, go for these kills, put the pressure on, don't let Medusa hit her item timings. As long as one of the cores of Liquid's being shut down, you're in a pretty good spot. Alchemist, yeah, he's starting to pull ahead, but Medusa's in a really poor stage. Alternatively, if you're killing the Alchemist while Medusa gets a bit of farm, you're okay with that as well, because IG are farming across 3 cores. They're finding kills on one of the key Liquid heroes, and it doesn't feel like Alchemist can carry this game alone. You need both Alchemist and Medusa to get farm right now.
They will fortify, but Liquid not looking to do anything here.
Deso, he's partway to his Assault Cuirass, close to halfway there. They can take Roshan fairly soon. IG are doing a very good job of making sure they secure objectives and not just play this greedy style, which Liquid are doing.
Absolutely massive. And again, just in comparison to Miracle, he's now starting to break away a little more thanks to that Radiance completion. But Burning definitely is not going to be too upset with the position he is in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, for an Alchemist game, you want to be pulling ahead probably 5 or 10 minutes ago. This is kind of too late for the Alchemist to start pulling ahead. He's probably going to start pulling ahead even more unless he gets ganked a bit. Or maybe if IG like take Roche and some racks, that's where you start getting a massive influx of cash. But it's not a concern. Like, that's not a lead at all for Miracle. He needs to be like 5k net worth ahead of the Lifestealer to be able to fight the Lifestealer. And that's just not the case right now. There's such good lockdown and control in the fight with Spirit, the Magnus, even from wounds that can make it really tough for Miracle. Perhaps the Manta will help a little bit getting out of some of those spells like the open wounds, but it's not going to be a full solution for him. And then once you finally feel like you're tanky enough and found enough to fight the Lifestealer, well then there's a Tinker to worry about. He's going to have an Aghanim Scepter, so like hitting laser on you and all your Manta illusions as well as your teammates. Like, you're just going to get wrecked by this AoE laser and the heat-seeking missiles as well.
Another tower for IG as they push on down the bottom. At the same time, they do get the trade up top, Liquid, as they themselves starting to put some pressure around. And will be a scan around the pit from IG just to check if Liquid were trying to eye up a sneaky Roshan. That's not the case. They'll keep themselves back. I mean, IG themselves, do you think they... Is it just too risky, really, in this kind of a game to look for Roshan whilst the entire enemy's alive? I mean, they'll smoke up. Surely this is going to be a smoke and a kill attempt before a Rosh.
Pick then Rosh.
Yeah.
If you go into Rosh, you're kind of setting yourselves up to be defeated. Well, you feel like you're doing better. You're finding the key kills. You're taking objectives. I think IG recognize that they're in the advantageous position. Putting yourselves in the Roshan pit against Stonegaze and Supernova is a good way to kind of throw away that lead. So they'll play it safe. Just go for the pick off, go for the key kill, and they'll. Ooh, will they find it?
And they hunt him down in the tree line immediately with the TP out. Boca, he goes for the blind boulder smash. Won't be able to hit it off though, as Mind Control is out along with the rest of his teammates.
They could still theoretically Rosh now. They see Alchemist bottom. They likely know we TP down there as well as multiple TPs out, but still, again, it's slightly risky approach. Even when you see heroes TPing bottom, second Miracle shows himself, he kind of goes missing. So I think ideally they want to find a pick up before they get themselves into that Rosh pit. Otherwise, they're going to have to position very carefully. And if not a pick off, then at least get Tinker's Ag Scepter, which is a couple hundred gold away from completion. No real good catch for the Tinker. This is where this fourth pick Tinker, right when they saw Medusa, is really effective as well. It's not just one of OP's best heroes. It really fits the game as a good counter pick for the Medusa in the mid lane against a lineup that really struggles to find the Tinker and pick him off. And as mentioned, once he gets his Ag Scepter, they are in the Roshan pit. So Tinker likely to come and lay down some march should any kind of a Rosh contest happen. But they see Miracle bottom, and I think without Alchemist there, they feel pretty safe about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said, you know, Liquid do have this great Roshan team fight, but it's not going to be any use if they're not prepared for it. And I think there's also the chance that they do just not want to. They respect how strong IG has got at this point of the game.
Yeah, if you have no vision around there, they have good vision around the area, but even I don't think they saw them go into the pit. It's to like the north of the Roche pit to the south. If you go in kind of blind into IG's wards there, and they even have a sentry, the IG is going to get the jump on you, and so much of this game comes down to whether the Axe can initiate before like the Magnus or the Earth Spirit do, because the Life Sealer and Fest Bomb will instantly delete one hero, and if that happens to like a core hero, the fight's lost for Liquid. They want to try to get the Axe jump onto an Earth Spirit or someone before they get jumped themselves.
And it really seems like it's one of those games as well that it's kind of rare for Liquid, where Matuma Man, he's just really struggled to hit it off in the farm. I mean, we're seeing his farm nearly being matched by Mind Control's Axe. And Mind Control himself, he's been having a tough time finding kills. I mean, granted, he's been doing a lot of farming himself in the jungle and such early on. But this Medusa's still not in the position it needs to be. And it feels like this game, a lot of weight is on Miracle. He has got the farm. He is hitting the timings now on the Alchemist. They need him to prolong this game.
Yeah,
they need him to buy the space and create the time that Liquid need to get online.
He's skipping waves here, knowing that there's push coming mid.
I wondered if he was going to go for that, but I guess not got the movement speed.
Doing as much as possible, leaving just a few low HP creeps, which he probably assumes his Rubik or someone can clear with a Fade Bolt. And IG were ready to go high ground. If you don't make that play there where you creep skip the wave, they take the tier 3 tower with Rage. It's this casual slow siege, something that, I mean, you go way back to like TI2 era. This is what the Chinese teams were doing with Lifestealer back then. You go on the high ground, you Rage. Rage is a second away from wearing off, you back off. It's just slow, steady. There's no real counterplay unless you've got a good BKB piercing like initiation. Even then, it's a Lifesteal with an Aegis. So if you waste like a big ultimate on that, like an Axe, or even your Axe goes in to call a Lifestealer, Axe is going to die. And best case scenario, you take an Aegis and you've lost like 2 or 3 heroes. So slow, steady siege is coming. This time the creep wave has not been skipped, and IG are ready for round 2 at this tier 3 tower.
And let's see what Liquid can do to hold off. They've got good high ground potential. IG with burning on the front lines, being empowered up. They've got damage. They've got sustain, but at the same time, Liquid do have ways to counteract it. Mind Control will jump in, start to bring burning back.
Trying to waste the rage. That's good play from Mind Control. The second he rages, he just wants to hit the tower for 2 or 3 seconds, then back off, and he makes sure that burning doesn't get any damage on the tower, because if you don't do anything to respond, he will slowly take your base, and this will push IG back a little bit.
Ooh, smoke from Liquid. Are they going to come out? Okay. It looks like they are. They want to try and catch IG before they go for that next high ground push. And they might just do it. I mean, again, just on the sidelines, you can see Matuma Man and Mind Control. They're coming out of the south of the base.
Very tough. You really need to catch like an Earth Spirit or a Magnus, one of the key teamfight controlling heroes.
Yeah, it's all about Mind Control's call. He is their initiation, and he needs to hit it perfectly.
They look for Baboka here. Kuro in the front is going to drop a ward with the sentry.
They see it. Can Liquid find that jump? OP's coming back in. Burning back on towards the tower.
Big re-smoke.
That's going to be the tower down. Burning looking towards Miracle. There's the jump in. Gets one. He will catch the Earth Spirit immediately coming into the middle with the Supernova, and that will cause IG to spread. The Stone Gaze is out as well, meaning that IG have got to seriously think about fighting back into this one. Now that the odds are down, maybe, but they've lost an Earth Spirit. Burning will turn towards KuroKy, but immediately out with the dive. Miracle again, just cutting the creeps, trying to destroy this push. He's been RP'd. Q's there with a follow-up stun. The Laguna Blade that slashes from Burning him as he rips him down.
It was a nice attempt. Like IG were so good at responding to that. The second they saw that dive in with the Kuro just supernovaed in the middle of 5 heroes, knowing that the Stone Gaze would protect him, and IG didn't try and kill it. They just split. They 5-man ran away from the egg and left the Earth Spirit to die, but they even killed the Axe before Earth Spirit even went down. Axe was dead. Miracle came close to getting the Tinker, but once Tinker TP'd home, healed himself up, things were not looking good for him.
And we'll pop the Aegis. And as we did see that, we saw the effectiveness of Miracle cutting the creep wave. I mean, this is the first creep wave coming in post that fight. It did slow down the siege. Mind Control's in again with the call, trying to rip Burning away from the racks whilst he's raged up. They're doing their best to slow it. They don't want to buy back, it looks like, on Miracle. They want to wait that 20 seconds. And indeed, Liquid, they may just accept that this Rax is gone.
Yeah, probably
or
better.
At least the melee, at least.
Yeah, give up the Rax rather than use the Alk buy. But use the Alk buyback, he dies again, it's game over. Even if he doesn't die again, it slows down his Octarine timing by such a big margin that it's not really, it's better off you lose a Rax. Like, losing one melee Rax is not a massive problem for a lineup with a Medusa and an Alchemist, so they can play down a melee Rax. They were going to lose their shrines anyways once that tier 3 was down, so we'll probably see IG regroup, take down some of these shrines a bit, wait for the next Roshan before going for another high ground push. Very kind of methodical play coming out from the Invictus gaming team, and Liquid are going to have to get whatever items they can get as soon as possible. Medusa only now has a Lincoln Sphere, trying to get a Yasha to go with it. Matu, as we kind of highlighted, has really struggled to find farm this game.
Yeah.
Just not being a very mobile hero. That's where Axe was actually managed to get farm. He can like push out lanes, has the blink kind of to escape any rotations coming his way. Medusa, very slow, sluggish, not very mobile, and if caught out, you're kind of just dead. Even with the Stone Gaze TP kind of play, there's enough disables from IG that you don't really have the ability to farm in risky places on the map.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of elements of Liquid have just not kicked it off this game. I mean, also looking towards KuroKy, he's just really, he's struggled to find the levels on this Phoenix. You know, he's still quite far behind in terms of what he can offer. He's only got that level 1 Supernova.
That's
and he's still just level 8 at 28 minutes. It's a little slow for this Phoenix.
Burning gets a heart now, so he's super tanky.
Oh, they've got the ward on. The Max XS sees them. He'll only get 2. He won't get
Stolen
GH. And now GH comes back in. But it doesn't matter, gods.
Really doesn't. Miracle now could be in some trouble himself. He doesn't really want to fight into this one with the Stone Gaze. He might, though. They're going to have to kind of turn tail and run away from that for now.
They will catch the Earth Spread up on the high ground. But again, is it enough? Burning still pretty much at full power. OP, Q, and XXS, they're ready for another fight.
Burning just heals up with the heart regen, then he's back in. He'll start working on this bottom lane. And the Empower damage is buffed up even further by this Heart of Terras, since it gives you that juicy strength, and there's no real good response to Burning at this stage of the game with how farmed he is.
Miracle's starting to bring Burning down a little bit, but Burning will turn straight towards him. Miracle. There's the Manta. There's the concoction onto Burning. Tummerman just doing so little damage, if any, with just that Lincolns and Phase at the moment on his build.
It's like, does like 50 damage a right click from Medusa onto the Life Stealer with all his armor, and he's got, over 3k HP to chew through, so good luck bringing down Burning.
How do you kill him?
He gets the free evasion at level 20 as well with his Talon, I imagine. Nuisance Seed is kind of nice, but 15 evasion against Dusa Alchemist seems like the way to go. That's going to increase his effective HP even more. He is close to that 6 odds point. He's going Butterfly as his final item. At least he's queued it up for now. We'll see if he commits to that. But I think he recognizes evasion's going to be super valuable. How do you farm an MKB through this Medusa? Medusa has no items whatsoever. Alchemist can theoretically farm an evasion piercing item, but you're an Alchemist. You don't want to. You go for your Shivers, then you start pulling Aghanim Scepters perhaps. Maybe you get an AC in there, an Abyssal, but you never really want to have an MKB. So Evasion is a very hard counter to Liquid's lineup at this point.
And here we go again, IG. They've got the Greaves now on queue as well. I mean, as we've kind of seen, it seemed that Liquid's best bet at this moment really is to just make sure these fights don't happen around their base. They've got to keep Miracle pushing these lanes out.
Yeah, split push, Dota.
And they're hunting for him. It looks like. I mean, they come around towards the top half. Maybe see if they catch anyone coming out.
I mean, they're even like itemized for like the Shadow Blade on Magnus. They're going for all the catch and pick off items to hopefully find him. But they won't catch him immediately. They'll go for the Shrine instead. He's still lurking around that top lane, and they'll see some illusions, but they won't be there in time to catch the elusive Alchemist. But
I mean, I think a lot of people coming into this series wouldn't have expected IG to give this much of a showing in game one, at least, to Liquid. Liquid have, I mean, it is the first game at LAN, so it can be a bit shaky for some teams, but IG are just looking really hot here in game one.
Yep. And the hard thing for a Liquid draft like this is they probably theory crafted that this is like a good counter to what the Chinese teams are doing with like the Lifestealer, how you've got this team fight with the Medusa, Stone Gaze, with the Supernova. Phoenix is good against it.
Can they kill Burning? They've got 4 heroes here surrounding him. GH will kind of tentatively lift him up, but the rest of them say, no, we can't kill the Lifestealer. We've got to go for the rest. They'll jump in on the backliners. XXS falling low, but he uses himself up. They've killed the Axe in return. Will RP the Medusa, but XSS does end up going down. GH, again with the stolen RP, able to slow Burning down a little bit. He's raised up, they just don't have the damage to go through it. Miracle on the backlines trying to cut across, was able to get a second. He'll look towards Burning. He will continue to chase this down, but he just cannot go for it, especially level 20. He did go for that evasion talent on Burning. There is just no way they can cut through that Lifestealer. Even if there's 5 of their heroes and 1 of the Lifestealer, I still question how, if they can kill him.
He walked into 4 and they ignored him and ran for the Magnus, so that kind of says it all.
And they're trying to come in onto Miracle here. They're bringing in the full force to dispatch of this Alchemist. Miracle has got the backup of Kuroki Sunray. Can they keep the Alchemist alive? It looks like they will be able to. Turn around, maybe seeing if the concoction was needed to hold back IG. But as we're seeing, as unkillable Burning is, a similar situation there, Miracle surrounded by the majority of IG, they couldn't quite kill him.
Yep. Main difference between the two, while both being kind of unkillable, is Burning does a hell of a lot of damage. This Alchemist can do damage, it's just no way comparable to what the Lifestealer is doing. And he has reached that 6-slot Alchemist at a reasonable-ish time. Like, you normally want to reach it maybe around 28 to 30 minutes. I mean, he still can progress item-wise, but these 6 items is normally what you want to see around the 28-minute mark, so he's a little bit slower, but it's not so much Miracle's timing on his items, it's where the rest of his team is at in terms of farm and where IG's at. IG is super farmed on both Lifestealer as well as Tinker. They've got complete map control, they've got Roche control. That Roche is about to respawn at the max timer. Probably doesn't matter for IG too much that it took this long, but...
Interesting. Gods, look at this. Is this kind of, we're not doing great. Picking up the S and Y on Medusa from the Timberman.
Whatever cheap, cost-effective items you can buy at this point. I guess the Manta's like the one other... With all the buffs, I think he's just rating the item slightly above the Manta. And the Manta illusions die incredibly fast to like things like Tinker Laser. The main benefit is being able to get out of some spells.
He's been skewered back and immediately silenced. Can he get himself out of it? Does have backup from the team, but Burning, he's looking towards Matuma. Does get the chance for the Stone Gaze, and that will force Burning to back.
Still win for IG. That's Stone Gaze on cooldown. They can use that to secure Roche for themselves. And they're going to smoke and actually look to fight, perhaps. Not really sure there's a whole lot Liquid can do to win a team fight without both Stone Gaze and Supernova right now.
Oh man, yeah, if they hit this RP, be a kill for sure. GH, quick with the blink out. They look to chase him down as Baboka comes forward. Has got Burning inside him. To burst down Kuroki there, OP, and with the blink forward, OP only goes and does it. Brings down the Phoenix.
Yeah. Bit too easy.
Oh my. I mean, I'm looking at this game 2. I mean, what's the biggest issue, do you feel? Is there going to be anything that we're seeing here that we're not going to see Liquid let IG get their hands on in the second game?
They may change some of their bans to like deny Burning the Lifestealer, for example, but I think this is very much like Liquid with a theory-crafted draft. Probably, it's the kind of draft you can't really necessarily practice a whole ton. Perhaps they maybe had some scrim practice against some of the Chinese teams, but this was like, to me, it feels like a draft that was heavily theory-crafted, but maybe not like really tested and practiced as much. But they can stop this Roche from happening, they may kind of salvage this game or at least give themselves a chance.
Burning immediately in onto Matuma Man. Matuma Man falling low, has to back. Miracle on the front lines, trying to kind of pull IG away from Liquid themselves.
Tinker
Acting
damage.
as a distraction. I mean, he's toggling around. Miracle knows that he can survive this, but Burning's back into the pit. They'll look to try and do something there with the Sun Ray, but it isn't going to happen as IG take Roche, get the Aegis on the Lifestealer.
And with that, IG probably ready to look to push forward down another lane. Tinker can keep these side lanes pushed out a bit. It's a lot harder for the Alchemist to go for that annoying creep skipping play at this stage since there's such good catch on IG's side. And, well, looks like bottom lane is where IG are going to be headed now.
And we'll see if they can get away with this push or if Liquid have a better answer to it. They do have all the ultimates back online on Liquid.
Kuro's still just level 1 Supernova. It doesn't seem to have mattered so much anymore. We haven't seen the egg like dying or anything. It's just it's always been paired up with the Stone Gaze. So regardless of what level it's been, it's proven to be pretty effective. The stun duration increase is maybe what you want from leveling it up.
Oh goodness, and Burning. He's got a complete Monkey King bar on the way as well.
Doesn't really have this. I could drop his phase boots theoretically. Or his armlet, I guess, is the way to go. But yeah, he hits pretty damn hard right now.
Absolutely insane how big and strong this Lifestealer has become this game. It's been a perfect game for him. It will be called XXS with the RP only onto 1 though.
Another stolen RP.
Yeah, GH has been getting a lot of chances. There's Miracle actually on the back lines already with the BKB trying to bring down OP. And in fact, with Link forward GH, can they do it? They can. They'll take him down. Matsuma with the Stone Gaze forcing IG to back. They've actually caught XXS on the sidelines as well. He'll yield himself up. Burning's going to try and do his best to get them off XXS, and they will. He'll allow XXS to blink out. Miracle gets bursted, will buy back. Quick jump in from OP to zap down the bird.
Yeah, it's, I think a good time to Tinker buyback there. You know this is like the fight where you're taking racks. Your opponents are going to have to buy back. Tinker, they've just used their ultimate, so it's less about like using your buyback to force a rack, but more about knowing that you can fight with those big ultis down and they're not going to be able to bring you down.
OP's back in with the lasers, just
damage.
bursting them down. Jumps forward again for round 2 and brings down Mind Control. No buyback on the axe. As IG taking down the melee racks, Burning sticking around for the bonus as he brings the range down as well.
We'll still stick around in this game knowing that things can turn with one good fight and Medusa picking up an item or two.
Is there any ags that could change this? I mean, you see Miracle, that is what he's going for now. Who can he give this to that could change everything?
I guess it goes to GH on the roof.
I'm thinking GH
It's
as
either
well.
that or I mean, the Phoenix save is kind of nice because you can put a teammate in the egg and keep them alive.
Yeah.
But I want to say, yeah,
I mean,
it's one of the two.
If you get what GH stealing is what Tinker's spells, it's going to be very nice for high ground defense.
It's getting RP almost every single fight. So this Magnus had struggled to kind of cover his RP, but I think more testament to GH and how on point he has been with the timing of his RP skills.
Oh, and if he gets if he gets given the Aghanims and he's able to steal in power, suddenly Medusa's got damage. You know what I mean with that aura.
Not a bad option, yeah.
He's got to get it, of course, though. First Miracle still 1,000 or so away from having that Aghanim Scepter. Burning onto the tower and back off again. Just using that rage timing to get as much as he can done. Still has that Aegis, of course.
And the heart will regen him back up, so he doesn't really care that he takes a big chunk of damage. He'll just sit around, wait for that regen to kick in, and then pelt away on this tier 3 tower once again. There is a glyph to protect it, but at some point you've got to engage if you're Liquid.
Burning back in, there's the engage. Mind Control comes in, again trying to pull Burning away. They've got to be careful how close they get. They know that Magnus is looking for an RP potential. Burning will once again be forced back. I mean, Liquid, they're certainly making it hard for IG. But IG each time are whittling down the damage and health on that tier 3, and they're sticking around.
Still got a full minute left on the Aegis, so they may as well continue to do what they can to the tier 3 tower. Tinker is the one that needs to be the most careful without buyback, though.
And again, Mind Control. Pull back onto Burning. Miracle stunning up the concoction. It looks to try and get it off, but
Nice skewer on
immediately
the Miracle.
does get skewered back. Stuns himself. OP. Burst and the rearm ready for round 2. Bringing him down low. Mind Control comes in, though, to protect
Tinker.
Miracle with the call onto Tinker. They'll bring down OP, and of course, this is a man that's going to be dead for a long time, as buyback almost certainly still on cooldown from that engagement down on the bottom lane earlier, as he's out for a full plus 90 seconds. And IG, they'll be forced back. So that's almost only going to be 90 seconds where IG unlikely to try and make a high ground siege happen. And the map slowly but surely starts to open back up for Liquid. Aghanim's, how's it going? It's just a few hundred away from point booster.
We'll see him get that from this bottom farm and see which direction it goes, which of the two supports. I think it's unlikely the Axe gets it, not amazing.
Surely it goes Rubik. I think
it should be.
There's just so many beautiful things. And with GH, just as you said, he's been playing like he deserves an Aghanim.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That man's
you do it based on merit, not based on
Absolutely. You do it on how well your teammates are playing.
Yeah.
That's how you work out who the Axe goes to. Here we go. Who's he heading for? Could it be something fun like the Phoenix, but it's GH, surely.
Oh, he's hugging Kuro.
Oh, is it?
Nope.
No.
He
gives it to Kuro.
What's
I
the
mean,
X save?
He's the boss, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to please the boss.
Absolutely. I mean, you can get that Medusa or Alchemist in the egg and save their lives. It's definitely a game-winning kind of thing. But I mean, similarly, a Rubik with an Axe can be a team fight winning.
It can be a game-losing thing though as well. If you get someone in and you kill both of them.
Yes.
So we'll see which way it goes around here. Liquid, they'll take the tower. They're looking to try and find to burning. They'll get the call off. Immediate light strike around. Oh my goodness! There's the RP, but GH, this man, give that man an Axe. Comes in with the stolen RP, out they come with the Supernova, but there's the second RP again from XXS into the 3-man light strike, but they brought down Burning. Liquid are somehow doing okay in this fight, and I've got to say, it's this GH. He's hit more RPs than this Magnus has this game, but it looks like it doesn't matter, yeah. OP just cleaning up as he comes forward. Mind Control isn't going to be able to take the call. They'll get Matuma Man out. GH looking to try and escape. There's going to be the jump forward. He's low on mana. If he had a bit of it, he would have turned around and gone for the kill.
There's a blink on TP, but...
Oh, Mind Control's actually come in and actually gets the dunk down onto the Magnus. So Mind Control sacrificed himself there to bring down XXS. And again, when Liquid are kind of behind, well, I say kind of, they are, 2 sets of racks down. Kill trades like that work out because you've got the buyback. Magnus hasn't for 60 seconds. Again, you're creating more time where IG are going to be unable to close the game out.
Yep. Seems like a time for Medusa kind of game. Like at this point, Alka's there. He's 6-slotted. He's not getting any more farm, but Medusa is the one that needs to get
we saw pretty much 3 kind of flashy RPs. The first one there from XXS catching 3, but GH just straight in to hold them back.
Over with it. Like they actually managed to have the damage to kill off Burning. That was impressive.
Absolutely, and straight in again. XSS comes through, and they do have this follow through from Q. Yep. But Liquid is just able to out-sustain it long enough to make sure that they do get trades in return. OP, of course, still just being a massive issue there with the burst damage that he can offer and the power that he's reached.
Still a concern, like what's the long-term goal? Like, where are you headed with this? You look at IG, they've got a refresh on Magnus, so their late game is very impressive. Earth Spirit has gotten like 10k net worth, same for the Lina. All their supports are farmed on the Dire side. So I still feel like Liquid are going to have scaling issues right now. Like they're slightly come out on top of that fight. They hold on, but they've still got 20 seconds without Alchemist. He actually does not have buyback right now, and this could just be another rack if Liquid aren't careful.
Control. Again, I mean,
there's no Stone Gaze now. That's actually a really big problem. Losing Stone Gaze means you don't have that synergy between the Phoenix and the
They may
Medusa.
just get Mega Dit. There's still that range racks in the mid lane that they can look after. Miracle will be back in a couple of seconds, literally. Mind Control again with the jump in, bringing him back, but XXS is in there with the RP. Supernova comes out. They have managed to hold GH back with the stun. If he gets in, they could clean up, and in fact, it looks like they're doing it anyway. Miracle heading forward, taking down Q. There's GH again with the RP to control Burning. Oh, he also got OP in as well.
Burning's still fighting though. He's
Burning's turning, and this lifesteal, it's bringing him right back up. Miracle with the stun to hold back the Earth Spirit. Miracle going for, really wants to try and find that lifestealer kill. Can he actually do it? He's got to back up as Earth Spirit comes in for the cover. XXS will be the new target. Skewers away. Do they have detection? And I think the answer is no, not on those two. Not on the 2 cores on the front line, so XXS will get away with his life. But again, I mean, GH. He's really doing it. He did have to buy back for that defense, but these RPs, I really feel the game would have been over 10 minutes or more ago if he hadn't been hitting what he's had.
He's so on point. Like, there's Magnus with his cast times. It's actually, if Rubik is perfect with his spell steal, it's impossible to stop him stealing that RP. And every single time he's instant on it. He could try look to use Empower on himself or Shockwave after it, but Rubik is just always right away has it.
Absolutely.
They killed the egg. That's the first fight where I feel they've actually managed to get the egg. He got the egg with the axe inside too. That was the double kill. That was really nicely done by Q, and that was something that was kind of mentioned when the Lina pick came up by the panel, is that Fiery Soul's actually not bad at dealing with that egg, so we're seeing it as kind of a pseudo-solution from a support hero at that, so...
And you got to give credit as well to the Earth Spirit there in that play, where we saw, you know, that he got the GH got the RP onto both Burning and OP, but literally that 3-man boulder smash just made sure that they couldn't just quite get the damage out to bring the Burning down. I mean, Liquid was so close to killing Burning.
He's played very well, even at the end there when he kicks Burning out just to help him retreat, like he's doing every little thing to help the cause. Scouts out Kuro with a boulder smash, and it looks like IG...
They're a little scared.
They know those ultimates are coming back up. The team fight is back for Liquid. Matu's got Butterfly and a Blink. He can position very well for his Stone Gaze with this Blink Dagger.
He's coming back into it, Matuma Man. We really saw him struggling at the start. You know, he was on the same net worth as this Axe. Now he's doubling Mind Control. So he's been focused. He's buckled down, kept his head in the game. And now, yeah, as you mentioned, with the Butterfly and Blink, he's a big threat in these team fights.
Yep. Burning is going to struggle more and more against the ranged Medusa. Even the Alchemist can cause problems. Does have the MKB to deal with the Butterfly, but Butterfly's still a nifty item for all the armor and stats and helps elsewhere when it comes to these upcoming team fights. Problem is, the longer you stand if you're Liquid, bottom lane's going to push in, top lane's going to push in, so you've got to make a move at some point, otherwise that range racks at top, your tier 4 towers are going to start getting chipped away. I wouldn't even mind seeing like Tinker TP bottom, push out lane. He TP's top, he has that idea in mind where it's like, let's push out these lanes. Kuro!
Oh.
He managed the egg. I think he went for the egg, but just, yeah, got sniped. Actually, he doesn't want an egg. He's got the -20 respawn time. He respawns very quickly. It looked like he was trying to cast something though.
Still IG, they're trying to go for Rage. Miracle just keeps waltzing in and out with the chemical rays, trying to pull them away from it. In fact, he has to be a little bit careful, getting bursted down low. Pots the BKB, Burning with the Rage though. Looking to fight, Mind Control charge for the Blink Call, won't catch anyone. IG back into the pit. It looks like this time they may get away with finishing Roche without any interruptions.
They give Tinker the Aegis this time. That felt like maybe something they would have wanted to have happen last time. Burning, as tanky as he is, very hard to kill, has a lot of protection from his team. Tinker, if they're ever on top of it, Tinker, he's just dead. So giving him the Aegis seems like a good way to move forward with this game. And Burning also, of course, having item slot limitations now as he looks to complete a Bloodthorn as his last final item. Does have the cheese as well, so we'll see what Liquid can do if they can hold once more. It's going to be a tough ask. They have got some buybacks. Alchemist and Medusa both holding on to theirs. They won't have that GH Rubik buyback though.
You got as well Miracle's queuing up for a Moonshot next. I mean, is this going to go to himself, or do you think you give that to the Medusa at this stage?
It's almost better on Medusa in some ways. Miracle's more like the frontline tank.
I'm talking about the frontline tank. He's been ripped straight into the midst of it all. They have managed to pull the rest of IG away from Burning, though. Burning on the front lines, of course, doesn't have that Aegis. They give it to OP and he can't get it out. He's down.
Hold. They split them up so well. Isolate Burning, then they stun him up with the Stone Gaze, and unable to... If he gets the cheese off there, perhaps IG can salvage it, but... Great initiation from Liquid. That's why Miracle being that frontline tank, his job is just run at the back line and keep them busy. He's very hard to kill. And the Medusa with the rest of the supports able to actually bring down Burning there.
There we go. There's the Moonshot. Is he going to eat himself, or is he going to feed the poor? As he looks towards Matuma Man.
He gave it to Matu, yeah.
He's feeling charitable.
Yep.
But as you said, this absolutely makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You want to have Matu with that extra dash speed in these defenses.
Matu's the important right-click and carry at this point. Alchemist, yeah, just looking to be as survivable as possible. He's queued up another Ags. See where this one goes. Probably talk about GH the Rubik just deserving one at this point, but I mean, maybe you give it to Medusa for stats. Give Medusa an Ag, give her a Moonshot, give her everything. It's all about the Medusa, you know. I
still feel for GH though. He's eyeing up that the queued up Aghanim's, and he's like, one day Miracle. He'll give me one.
What do I need to do?
I mean, at the same time, he could be like, well, I get RP every time. Ags doesn't do anything for that, so it's wasted on me, you know. Because he's literally just looking for the RP, so maybe that's what it is. He's not really wanting to steal anything else.
Yeah, there's not many other...
Oh, here we go. Miracle. In a lot of trouble. Pops the BKB. Not in a lot of trouble. He's out. Nice try, IG. Try again. I've got friends this time. It's Matuma Man and Mind Control turn up and hold hands.
Was the RP? No, interesting you didn't go for an RP there on the BKB here. Like you've got double RP using it for...
Could have, yeah.
Burning was maybe a little bit too far away or something, but... Even so, I think IG just looking to settle down and have another go with this Aegis. They've still got 2 minutes, so it's not like they're on a major timer or anything. And Tinker out of mana. There we go. We'll be heading back to base fairly soon. And yeah, looking to just take these last... Mega Creeps is not game over is the other thing, but you still want to make sure you get those Mega Creeps because it makes it a lot harder. Liquid have to then prioritize defending and pushing out lanes a lot more than previously, so you definitely want to get it, but the game will still go beyond Mega Creeps. That's for sure. And you've got to, at some point, you're going to have to kill Liquid's heroes and fight them when their ultis are down to try and win this game.
And here we go, Miracle once again with just walk into the backline, a strategy that's worked each time now with these defenses. Again, they get the grip and the stone gaze, but the RP comes through from XXS onto 3. Empowered Burning starting to rip through them, but in comes the swoop from KuroKy with the Supernova. Who's he got inside him there? I think it's Did he say Miracle? Matuma Man. He kept Matuma Man, saved him from the second RP. Burning, again shoved forward.
Didn't get the RP. I perhaps misclicked onto the Lifestealer because he stole Infest. And the Lifestealer was on top of the Magnus when he went in for the Blink RP, so it looks like GH for the first time in the entire game. It's like hard to like point out like, oh, he made a mistake, but it was not even a mistake. He stole an RP like 7 of 8 times.
He knows that the refresh is there. He's like, I won't steal the first one, I'll steal the second one.
Yeah.
Here we go again, Burning straight forward. Mind control with the call to bring him back. The evasion just doing a lot for Burning, keeping him alive, allowing him to take down the range racks. On the back lines, Miracle looking towards Q. Trying to bring them around again. I mean, XXS have been totally left alone on this front lines. Will be taken down.
Miracles in no man's land, but that's kind of what his job has been. Keep the other 4 heroes distracted and allow the rest of Liquid to actually find kills because Miracle is kind of 1v... He's not expecting to get kills in those 1v3, 1v4 scenarios. He's just trying to stay alive and keep Tinker busy. Prevent his blink from going off. His Radiance is like the key thing there where Tinker can't blink in to help Burning on the front lines to help Magnus.
And as we see, the evasion talent certainly causing issues for Matuma Man in trying to take down Burning's Lifestealer. They do have the money for that MKB, but they need to get the courier out there, jump in, and again, buyback this time from Miracle. Boost of travels onto the front, but indeed the Megas are out. Look towards Burning, do get the concoction follow-up, and then the Stone Gaze from Matuma Man, but immediately IG, they're just backing away. They will catch out the Lina at least. Liquid, they would have hoped for more, and maybe they can still get him. Miracle continues to chase down, will get Baboka, and Burning says, right, I'm out of this car, this is not going anywhere.
Baboka will save him if he needs to. He's got that Stone Activate Remnant called for.
He needs to stone
Actually,
Burning.
Cooldown, the enchant.
Okay, yeah, Burning in a bit of a spot above it. OP's actually coming on the back lines, interestingly enough, and Liquid just turn and bring down the Tinker. Bit of an interesting position for OP to find himself in. Burning, turning back towards Miracle. What's the BKB so he can walk off the open wounds, and now Mind Control comes in. Baboka's still there. Pulse Burning back. The silence as well onto Miracle, making sure that the concoction can't come out as he stuns himself. Burning turns towards the Alchemist, trying to walk it off with the Glimmer Cape and the Man Style. XXS RP's nothing.
Whips.
Doesn't manage to catch the out.
Oh, we got the Yules though.
Oh, and indeed
Great play from
cancels the
XXS.
TP. They will almost certainly indeed bring down Miracle, who does not have buyback. Out for 110 seconds. The rest of Liquid will get themselves back to safety. Amidst the chaos, Matuma Man was able to get the courier out to the secret shop and does have the MKB, but no Miracle for this defense.
Yeah, very hectic fight there. Miracle did a nice job expecting the RP coming in, dodges it to the north, but then XSX scouts him with the Shivers to set up the Yules cancel. So great plays from both the cores there. And now without Miracle alive, I worry for Liquid Spacey. They will just kind of hug the tier 4s. The nice thing is you're not worried about having to defend racks anymore. You can just stand right by your tier 4s with the Medusa, right click away.
Do have the sentry here, and immediately with a call into the Stone Gaze, this could be a good opening for them to go for. Magnus will use himself up, trying to survive, does still get the skewer back onto Matuma Man. Follow through Boulder Smash from Baboka, allows XSS to blink out. Matuma Man with his own blink, forced up to the high ground, as Liquid will keep Matuma Man alive. Buying time, as you said.
Buying time, but using the Stone Gaze again. Now they don't really have any good defense tools for this tier 4 towers and throne. Burning.
Just the one-man RP. GH will jump in return, but not enough as Liquid just start to melt. There'll be a buyback from Matuma Man, but IG maybe even eyeing up dying the fountain at this stage, as there's no buybacks on the rest of them. Matuma Man stoned and out of the fountain, as GG is called, and IG will finally end up closing the game. We kind of expected a potential long one from this one. 54 minutes in, either team, whoever was going to be on the back foot to have this period of just holding on as well as they could. And you know, Liquid did their best, considering the fact that at the start, IG just had this roaring beginning. Burning had an amazing opening as the lifestealer. And IG, their lineup, OP's Tinker, 16-5-12. We knew it was strong. He has a 70% plus win rate. Maybe we'll see it banned in game 2.
Yeah, I think if they have any other hero mid other than the Tinker, that Liquid draft works incredibly well.
Yeah.
So it was a fantastic pick in response to the Medusa. And if they saved it for last pick, very likely Liquid have banned it out. So very on-point decision to draft it and pick it up then. Burning's Lifestealer comes... I mean, he's only 5'2" and 16. It's not like the scariest kill score by any means, but he got the job done. He was the one kind of leading the charge, taking objectives in the mid-game. And the safe lane Alchemist just never really worked, was often just playing from behind. Really good early support movements. They caught him out a few times early on, so they did a good job shutting him down.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at OP's damage statistic there. Nearly 70,000 damage dealt. You know, just Tinker things. OP on his Tinker. Watch out for game 2 and see if Liquid have the